to talk about results. So we've talked about goal setting before. We want to try and tie goal setting into results that you're seeing. So I'm going to rant a little bit, and then we're going to try and tie all that back together. The main thing with results is you're not going to see what you want to see come out of your body if you're not putting in the time or the prep required to see the results you want, right? You set a goal, let's say 6 months down the line you want to have your first muscle up, right? Muscle up takes an extreme amount of effort and a lot of skill building. It is not just pull strength, it is not just transitions, it is not just dips. It is all those things combined into one movement, very explosive movement. And if you take the muscle up, for example, it could take somebody who learned their first squat, right? The first way they did a squat, it took them maybe 3 weeks to develop a good squat, 4 weeks. If you apply that same principle to a muscle up, it could take you 3 to 4 months to be able to have the skill set, to have the technique, to have the strength to be able to do a muscle up, right? So you have to be able to give other skills and other strengths time in the specific areas that you lack in. So we like to do like eliminating weaknesses, right? So if you wrote all of your weaknesses down on the whiteboard and you saw all the things that you're terrible at, you actually got to look at them every single day. How many of those in a month are you eliminating off the whiteboard, right? If you're terrible at burpees, you should probably be doing 50 to 100 burpees a day. And then after a month, you might be able to erase burpees off of your whiteboard, right? Something simple as burpees. That's a very simple movement. Now you have something as complex as a muscle up, and you want to just keep doing pull-ups, or you want to keep just doing ring dips, and you think that those two things are just going to help you get a muscle up. Those are accessory things that will take you on the trip there, but you have to be able to look at the long term, right? What are you doing that is eliminating the specific weakness you have with the muscle up, right? A lot of people say, well, I can do a bar muscle up, but I can't do a ring muscle up, okay? Well, how much of your time is spent on the rings? Let's examine that, right? How much of your time are you spending on your transitions? How much of your time is spent on your hip, right? You're exploding your hip into the rings. So you have to be able to break these movements down and still eliminate those weakness patterns, right? If you're terrible at overhead squat, right? The only answer for that is to develop the overhead position. That's why overhead comes before the squat. You have to develop the overhead position before you can squat. Then you can take it down lower and lower and lower until you're below parallel. And even when you're below parallel, that may not give you the sufficient ability to implement that in a workout, right? You might be able to do 100 reps and then finally be able to get below parallel. Doesn't mean you're going to be able to overhead squat 95 pounds in a workout, all right? So the results you want to see are hidden right in front of you. They're all in the shape of your weaknesses, right? A lot of people like to see heavy barbell work, right? They like to use the barbell to hide behind in their workouts so that the things like burpees and box jumps and kettlebell swings and the stuff that's really simple becomes harder of a task. Whereas they should lighten the load and specifically target those weaknesses. If I'm terrible at burpees, I should lighten the load of my barbell and go after the burpees in the workout. That is my weakness. My weakness is not 225-pound power cleans, and my weakness is not 135-pound overhead squat. What is your weakness in the workout? So when we talk about seeing results, right, especially in the gym, I can't help everybody on the outside of the gym when it comes to eating and nutrition and all the other stuff on the back end that goes rest. That's a completely different topic. I can't help you at home, but what I can tell you is this: your results are directly tied to the ability to eliminate weaknesses, right? How many do you have? If there's too many to count, write a list of 10. Once you've hammered out those 10, write a new list of 10, right? If you're a visual person, like I am, write them all down and see how many of those things you are actually accomplishing in a specific amount of time. Set a time frame. How many of those things have you accomplished in a month? How many of those things have you accomplished in 6 months? Right? We're looking at long-term goals. If we want to see those results, we have to be able to eliminate those weaknesses.